Hello and welcome to the Film Pulse podcast. This is episode number 443. My name's Adam Patterson. With me today, we've got Kevin Rakestraw. Hey, Kevin.
Hey, hi.
This week on the show, we'll be taking a look at the folk horror film You Won't Be Alone. We'll also be going over some we're watching on the watch list and talking about what's coming out in theaters, VOD, and Blu-ray. Thank you so much for joining us this week. Please remember to review us on iTunes if you get a moment. With that, I think we can just go straight into our review. Not really much in the way of housekeeping. New Saved by the 90s did drop last week, so if you haven't yet, check that out. We talk about adventure movies. You Won't Be Alone. This is written and directed by Goran Stolevski. I have a synopsis here. In an isolated mountain village in 19th century Macedonia, a young woman is kidnapped and then transformed into a witch by an ancient spirit. Kevin, we'll start with you. What were your initial impressions of You Won't Be Alone?
I think it's the same as probably everyone, is that this looks beautiful. The landscapes, the cinematography, so much of it is just incredible visually. My goodness. You also have a lot of what I thought were pretty impressive effects. And that's it. That's it. I found this to be very, very empty.
Yep.
And long for that reason.
Oh yeah.
And just a lot of just Malick type stuff going on. Mostly the thing that got me, which is pretty much the thing that I have a lot of issues with in Malick's own movies, is that like the voiceover.
It is so grating in this movie. The fact that it's like, first of all, sometimes it sounds like the woman narrating is like eating the microphone. It's like in her mouth when she's talking. It is so like it's too much. She's too close to the mic. And then the whispering too, and like it's like weird. It's like some kind of weird ASMR type of thing that's happening, and I did not enjoy that at all. And I was thinking the whole time of like what this movie would be if not for the inner monologue, because the main character doesn't talk, and we hear her thoughts and her like her analysis, her trying to figure out humans and sort of processing what it is to be human. And we hear her like kind of going through that in her head. And I was thinking like, how would this be different? Like, how would it play out differently if we didn't hear that inner monologue? We just saw her, trying to mimic people and learn how to be a human. And would it be more effective to get rid of that inner monologue?
Maybe, because I think it's one of the issues that I have with the inner monologue, outside of like the technical aspects of it, like you said, where it's just like the implementation of it, like the recording of it, just doesn't work for me. But I think also is kind of being steadfast with this idea of, her being a witch, her spending her first 16 years stuck inside of this cave. The problem that I had is this inner monologue. She doesn't have the vocabulary for it to be interesting or enlightening. You know what I mean? Like, it's sticking hard to the rule that, she's a witch. She's been held captive. So obviously she doesn't have, the vocabulary to express everything that she's experiencing. And because of that, I think there's not a ton of insight. Like, it's all very surface level to me. And I think you also get that with the visuals of it, like, even if you were to cut out the inner monologue, maybe it makes it better, maybe it doesn't. I have no idea. Because the way that she acts in the various bodies that she inhabits, it's all very, very surface level.
Right. Yeah.
And it's just not interesting for an hour and, 50 minutes.
And I think that just the nature of the narrative here makes the length feel longer than it actually is, just because it is sort of this like kind of sprawling narrative where we follow her through like years and years, and it just feels so plotting. And like man, I like there were several times where I'm like, just how long is this movie? Because
Yeah.
it felt so long to me. And that's not to say that I didn't enjoy parts of it. I agree with you that the visuals were outstanding. I liked the score too. It had a really interesting score to it where it was almost this like whimsical score that didn't necessarily match with sort of the horrors that were happening on screen, but it also kind of worked for me.
Yeah, yeah. And that's the thing that's difficult for me because in terms of like you know, presented me with the idea of a folk horror movie. Like I really like the execution of this in a sense because it feels like as realistic as you can make a folk horror. Because there's some horrors in this, but they're just presented like they're happening in real life, you know?
Mhm.
And
And I'll,
it's like I like that, but at the same time, I don't know if I do.
yeah,
It's just difficult to critique for me.
yeah, it's a tough one because I think that it does have a lot going for it. I think that the performances across the board are quite good. You have a really kind of eclectic cast in here that is from like all backgrounds. Like Numi Rapace is in here, and Alice Englert, she's Australian, so you have like Australian, French, Swedish, all different walks of life in this movie, which is a movie that takes place in Macedonia, and is the dialogue is in Macedonian, so kind of a cool like international picture in a lot of ways. And so yeah, the I thought that the performances were quite good. As well. And I will also mirror uh your comment about the effects work. I thought that was quite good as well. Especially like there's like certain what I would sort of almost lean towards like body horror elements of this, and in this rather, and those are quite good too. Like when she's digging in her chest and doing that kind of stuff, it just looks so gruesome and real. I mean, it just they did a really good job. It's a very dirty movie. Like there's just lots of fluids and mud and like just gross shit going on all throughout this movie. And I
Yes.
thought that all that was very effective. Lots of blood in this too. So I think that a lot of it is kind of disturbing. I liked what they did with like the witch, like her like fingernails and like that one claw thing that comes out of her palm.
Yeah, she's got like a dew claw thing going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think maybe it comes down to that too, is that A, the voiceover. The voiceover coupled with to me is like a lack of insight. I'm not it's just it never felt profound to me in any way, like her discovering humanity and learning about humanity across, you know, spanning across these years. I just it never felt like she learned anything
No.
new outside of
It
what she already had in the beginning, which is she felt for people
it
and
was it was
creatures.
it was almost like she was just mimicking them. Like she was learning. The only thing she learned was like how to mimic them. Now, later on in the movie, it she does show emotion. Like she does eventually fall in love and get married, and there's tragic things that happen there. So you do see her show emotion eventually, but it's not for quite a long time.
Yeah, and
And even that, you're never really sure if it's just like what she's supposed to. I think it was genuine, but still.
yeah, it just felt a bit too repetitive for my taste because of that, where she's inhabiting different bodies across the years, and but she's learning at such an incremental pace that it became repetitive to me. And the visuals can only do so much, I think. Because they start off
Mm-hmm.
really, really strong. Especially that, I mean, you're talking about that location inside that, that cave, hollow out cave thing,
Yeah.
which is just incredible. But then it just becomes a bunch of hay, just a lot of hay, rolling
Mm-hmm.
around in hay, getting hay in your hair. I don't know, it's
There, there's
just,
there's one scene where she's like eating the hay too, which is kind of weird. But props to Numi Rapace for just sticking hay in her mouth with the
yeah,
fake blood and all that.
yeah, I think at some point you would do that. If you're on this earth for that long and there's that much hay around and you're learning about
Just
humans,
try
you're
it.
gonna you're gonna stick it in your mouth at some point.
Yeah, just give it a try. Just see.
Can I use this as sustenance instead of blood? It's time to find out.
Nah, that doesn't work. Okay, all right. Yeah, I don't know. It's just presented in a in like a 4:3 aspect ratio too, which is
Yeah.
kind of different. Not sure why, but
I don't know. I really like this idea of a folk horror not really presented in a horror film framing. You know what I mean? Like there's not jump scares. They're not trying to like build tension and set
yeah,
up scares and that type of thing. It's just like, the stories that you would hear in a village just played out in realism, really, which is
hmm
a really interesting idea. And I thought for the most part they do it very well visually. It's just the substance of it just felt hollow to me.
yeah, I agree. I agree. Like this isn't one that I would be clamoring to see again. Like
Yeah.
I don't think I could do it again. But yeah, it's tough because I think it does have a lot going for it. But
Yeah. And at
uh,
the same time I could see it if someone was to say, "Hey, what type of like folk horror films would you suggest?" I would probably throw this out there, even though I'm not high on it. I'd be like, this is an example of something different.
hmm yeah, it's a tough one. I think it's definitely a tough one to sort of give a score to. But I also think that I'm a little bit folk hard out. And I think that that definitely affects how I feel about it a little bit. Like I feel like we've just been getting this never-ending onslaught of folk horror recently, and I'm just kind of done with
Yeah.
it for now. Like I'm ready to move on to something else.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I am and I'm not. Because I also feel like there's so many of these countries have their own folklore that I'm
hmm
interested in seeing, but maybe we could space them out a little bit.
Yeah, just yeah, break up the monotony a little bit here, guys. Come on. All right. Anything else you want to add about You Won't Be Alone before we give it a score?
Nah, I think I'm good.
Forgettable title too. Bad title.
Yes.
Sorry, it's a bad title.
No, you should have called this Wolf Eatress.
Wolfeatress. That would have got people's attention. I wouldn't have
Hell yeah,
forgot
it
that
would.
title.
No.
All right, Kevin. What are you gonna give it out of 10?
Oh man, it's like a 6.
I'm at like a I'm at like a 5.5, 5.5 on this one. All right, let's move on. Talk about some of what we're watching. Oh, by the way, that movie is available on VOD right now, so you can check it out on VOD. Let's move on. Talk about some of what we've been watching. I believe it is my turn this week, and I actually saw some stuff unlike last week. I'll start off with Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh
This
yeah.
is I'm sure that you're all quite aware of this. Directed by Daniels. I loved it. Probably one of my favorite movies of the year. I mean, this might be number one as of right now. This is number one. It's
Yes.
it is just it's hitting on all levels. It is a movie that I think speaks directly to me. I loved it. The action is awesome. The editing in this movie is on another level because everything in this movie is so fast and there's so much going on in this movie and it's just so kinetic and I can't imagine what a daunting task it must have been to edit this movie because there's just, I mean, there's like layers on top of layers on top of layers, and there's like the way that she jumps between the different like multiverses or the different realities. It's so fast the way that she hops through them, and it's like in an instant she's somewhere else. And I mean, it's so good. It's so well made. I love Michelle Yeoh in this. Everybody is awesome. It's a feel good movie. Like by the end, you're just feeling great. I think that this is the type of movie where you just have a smile on your face the entire time. It's funny. It's got awesome action scenes in it. Like the fight scenes are incredible. It's weird. It embraces that it's weird and absurd. I mean, there's a whole universe in this where everybody has hot dog fingers, and that's just
Yes.
it. It's just like regular. It's like regular reality, except everybody has hot dog fingers,
Incredible.
and it's such a cool mechanic where she has this device that allows her to access all of her the different versions of herself throughout the multiverse. So, and then she can utilize the skills that the other versions of her have. Like one version of her is a sign spinner, so she can use that and like tap into that skill. One of her other versions is like a like hibachi chef. She can tap into that skill. And one version of her is basically Michelle Yeoh, which is kind of interesting. And it's I can't recommend it highly enough. It is playing at theaters right now. I imagine that it'll be on VOD before long, but yes, everything everywhere all at once. Absolutely check it out.
Yeah, I'm so excited for this. I would also like to point out that the film's editor hasn't done a ton of stuff. I mean, they did do the death of Dick Long,
Hmm.
the one half Daniels movie. I guess that's a Daniel movie. But they also did the editing for You Cannot Kill David Arquette,
Oh, okay.
which is I just find interesting for some reason. I'm not sure why, but I do.
I mean, I don't really remember the editing in that
I
movie
don't either.
specifically, but I liked the movie a lot.
Um, interesting is last time we recorded, you didn't watch anything, and I watched a bunch of stuff. This time, I didn't watch anything, so
Mm,
I got nothing. I just started a bunch of TV, and that's it.
okay. All right. Well, I got a couple other things I can mention here. Choose or Die is another one that I saw, which is directed by Toby Meekins. This is a Netflix horror movie that came out last week. It's bad. I don't have a lot to say about it. It's basically about uh, two friends who find this old PC game, and discover that there was like a $125,000 prize for anybody who could beat the game, and it seemed to be unclaimed. Now, how they knew that it was claimed or not, I don't know. Like they called a number, and I guess they just kind of thought that it was unclaimed. But turns out, if you try to play the game, it's like a text adventure type of game, but it alters reality, and it forces you to make a decision between two different things, and both are horrible. And if you don't make a choice, as the title suggests, you die. It kills you.
Mm.
It's very poorly acted. It's very poorly written. It is not that interesting as far as like the stuff that happens. Like it starts off kind of crazy, but it just doesn't really go anywhere very compelling. And for some reason, Marson is in this, and I don't know why, but he's in there. Can't
Yeah.
recommend it.
Huh.
Just
How
it's
about
not good.
that?
It's not good. Another one that didn't work for me is Ambulance. This is the Michael Bay movie. This is out on VOD now. Uh, the one reason that I wanted to see this, I'll always give a Michael Bay movie a shot. I don't like Michael Bay as a director, but I think that some of his movies are just so over the top and ridiculous that they're entertaining. And I kind of like the fact that Michael Bay is just so full of himself that he just like he seems like the most narcissistic director in the world. I don't know if that's true or not, but it just seems like it with his movies.
Yeah.
And in Ambulance, he references two of his other movies. He references Bad Boys and he references The Rock directly, like naming, like title dropping them in this, which is kind of funny. So this is about it's like a heist movie. It's about these two brothers who rob a bank and shit goes sideways and they end up hijacking an ambulance and there's a shot police officer in the ambulance and an EMT worker. And it plays out sort of like a I don't know, like a speed type of thing where basically the whole movie is a car chase and some parts of it are awesome. Like some of the action scenes in this are incredible. Like I will give it that. Everything else is garbage. The dialogue is garbage. The writing is garbage. All the characters are complete stereotypes and garbage. Um, most of the performances are average to middling, but the action scenes are almost make this worth a look.
Mm.
There's one of the things that I think that most people talk about when discussing this movie is the drone shots in it. Up until this point, a lot of movies usually they do drone shots that are like sort of establishing shots or like showing characters traveling from point A to point B, and they don't utilize drones a lot. This movie is crazy with the drones. I mean, like every other shot is a drone shot, and they go nuts with it. And the drone shots are not just like simple overhead shots. This drone is just flying and twisting and going all over the place, and it's really cool. Like it's really really impressive, and it's like the type of shots that you just don't see a lot because the only way to get them is with a drone. And
Yeah.
um, apparently, I didn't look into this too heavily, but apparently Michael Bay like saw drone footage that this like 19-year-old did online and was like, "Hey, I need him for this movie," and he hired him. So all the drone shots are from this like 19-year-old who uses an FPV drone, which is like the type of drone where you put on the goggles and it's like sort of specialized for like racing and stunts and stuff.
Nice.
So yeah, the action scenes are really incredible. Drone work is awesome. A lot of the camera work is just really, really cool. Super stylized, really fun. But everything else in the movie is formulaic and bad. So yeah,
Mm.
that's kind of where I'm at with Ambulance.
Yeah, I am interested in seeing the drone footage from this movie. I mean,
It's so cool.
it's almost it seems like me to me that like I'm more interested in seeing a behind the scenes
Yeah,
how they do it. You know what I mean? Like I want to see how they filmed more so than I actually want to see the movie itself.
that's kind of where I'm at with it. Like if they have, I'm sure that they will be releasing it because I think it is just it's almost like it almost feels like a gimmick with this movie. Like it's the drone shots like are so prominent and take like such precedent over anything else that I'm sure that they're going to be releasing
Yeah.
behind the scenes stuff for this because it's I mean it's the one thing that is notable about this movie. All right, let's take a look at what we have in theaters this week. There's only one of note, and that's Memory with Liam Neeson.
Ooh,
This
is
is
this
yeah.
What is this? I've never heard of this whatsoever.
I never have either. Apparently, he's an expert assassin who
Oh, of course he is.
an expert assassin with a reputation for discreet precision.
But his mind is fading. His
Uh,
conscience is clear.
he's caught in a moral quagmire.
Oh fuck! This is directed by the guy who did Green Lantern and Goldeneye.
Oh, actually, we just talked about that guy on Saved by the '90s. Check that out. All right, that's pretty much it for theaters on VOD this week. On the 26th, we have Hostile Territory. It looks like a Civil War movie, maybe?
Oh,
It's a
been a
film
while.
by Brian Presley, starring Brian Presley.
Oh,
It's a
every war has its
rousing Western action adventure. Yeah, wow.
every war has its casualties.
Yep. On the 27th, we have 365 Days This Day. That's on Netflix. Also on the 27th, we have Silverton Siege. We also have on Netflix on the 27th, The Mystery of Marilyn Monroe, The Unheard Tapes. On the 28th, on Netflix, we have Bubble. That's a Japanese animated film. After bubbles that broke the laws of gravity rained down upon the world. Huh. Okay.
Oh, all right.
On the 29th, we have Fortress Sniper's Eye. That's the much anticipated sequel to the other Fortress that is not related in any way to the classic sci-fi action film 80s one.
Mm,
Was Fortress 80s? Must have been, right?
I'm pretty sure.
Might have been 90s, but I think it was 80s. This one stars Bruce Willis. Did you hear about Bruce Willis, by the
I
way?
did, yeah, which I guess makes a lot more sense into what's been happening over the last couple of years.
Yeah, it's really sad.
It is.
Also on the 29th, we have The Aviary. That's a Saban Films release. It looks like I don't know, maybe a thriller starring Malin Ackerman and Chris Messina. Twisted journey of two women's desperate flee to escape the clutches of Skylight, an insidious cult.
Oh boy.
Like I would be interested in that, but then you see that Saban Films logo, and you're just like, oof, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably be forgettable. Let's see. Also on the 29th, we have Unplugging, which is a comedy with Matt Walsh and Ava Longoria. Okay. Also on the 29th, we have Crush. That's going to be on Hulu. That is a coming of age comedy from the looks of it. And then we also have Rumspringa, which is going to be on Netflix.
A Netflix about Rumspringa.
Yeah, it's a comedy. Yeah, it's about a guy. Yeah, it's about an Amish guy who goes on his Rumspringa and finds himself, I guess.
Ah,
The interesting thing about this is this is dropping on Netflix on Friday. I looked it up. The only trailer that's available is the German language one. So
what?
Netflix didn't even bother releasing an English language or subtitle trailer for this. That's how little they care about Rumspringa.
Incredible. Incredible. They're out in full
Hmm.
force lately. Just a heads up if you wanted an Amish update. Buggies everywhere.
Nice.
They're traveling.
I'd be curious to see or learn how they dealt with the pandemic. Like what their take was on it, like did they mask up? Did they just ignore it? Like how hard did it hit their communities? Like I'd just be really curious to
Oh,
learn more about that.
I mean, the little bit that I saw, they did not mask up.
I'm sure they didn't. I mean, it wouldn't make sense that they would. And I'm
But
sure that
yeah,
none
like
of them are vaccinated, but like, did it hit their communities hard? Were they like insulated from it? There's a lot of questions I have about that.
naturally.
Yeah. On Blu-ray this week, we got 12 Monkeys coming out in 4K. That's a Arrow release. We got Madman coming out in 4K from 1981. Singing in the Rain's getting a 4K release. We got Schizoid and X-Ray. It's a double pack coming out 4K. That's a limited edition, only 5,000 of those. So pick them up. We got Dracula Sucks from 1978, and this looks like it's like a multi. So this is a limited edition also. 4,000 of these. Oh, it's like is it a porn? Maybe. It says an adult version of Bram Stoker's novel. So maybe it is some kind of porn.
That could
Yeah.
be anything. You throw the adult tag on there.
Well, it
I
also
guess
says
usually it does.
hardcore. It says
Oh,
hardcore. So
well, I think we're whittling it down to what it
yeah,
could be.
yeah. Hard Rock Zombies and Slaughterhouse Rock from 1985 and 88 coming out. That's another double pack. Vinegar Syndrome. Man, I just love what Vinegar Syndrome does. Moonfall is coming out.
Is that where the one where the moon falls on
Mm-hmm.
us?
Yes, yes.
There's a part of me that wants, because I like the idea of the moon falling on us, and I want to see that presented in
I
cinematic form. But I don't know if I want to sit through that whole thing.
I almost watched it this past weekend, but I didn't
I
because it
think I
just looks
just,
so bad.
yeah, I think I just want to see the sequence of the moon, like the moon's descent and perhaps landing, or maybe they save the day and somehow make it not fall and
I
touchdown.
mean, on the cover of the Blu-ray, it literally shows the moon smashing into Earth. So
Well,
I
see,
don't.
that's fucking awesome. I'm sorry. That's just great. That's what movies are made for.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll give it a look at some point.
I mean, it's
Uh,
going to be shitty, but still,
yeah, of
who
course.
does not want to see the moon fall, descend, and impact against the Earth?
I heard it's not even like fun in a bad sort of way though. So
Uh,
I don't know. Let's see. We have Reform Schoolgirls from 1986. That's a Vinegar Syndrome. Looks like a bunch of other like kind of 70s, 80s style like sort of porn movies are coming out, including Stiff Competition from 1985. There's a film noir box set that's coming out, The Dark Side of Cinema. This is volume 6. Stone from 1974 coming out. Twisting the Knife, 4 films by Claude Chabrol. That's going to be an Arrow release.
nice.
I'm not even sure who this director is.
What, Shimbral?
Yeah,
Oh, he's done some good stuff.
I don't.
Good stuff.
What has he done?
He's one of the,
Oh,
one of
he's
the French New Wave.
yeah. I see.
But he did more of like thriller types. Not all thriller types, but he's done a couple. He's done a handful of them.
Yeah, looks like he's worked with Isabelle Huppert a lot. Cool. I might check that out. Slash Dance from 1989.
Oh, I like that title.
Yeah. I mean, the cover alone.
Slash,
It looks
Slash
incredible.
Dance.
He Said, She Said from 1991, starring Kevin Bacon. I remember when this movie came out. I was very young, obviously at the time, and I loved Tremors. I was a big Tremors fan. Obviously, still am, and I wanted to see this movie because of Kevin Bacon. And my dad was like, "You're not gonna like that movie. Like, you're not gonna like that movie." And I never did see it, so I don't know if I would have liked it or not.
You got to watch it now, and then give your dad shit if you do indeed like it.
Yeah. Maybe I'll come up with a theme around it for Saved by the 90s. Love and
Maybe-
Saucers coming out.
You can do it based around the theme of movies my dad wouldn't let me watch in the 90s.
I could probably.
You could definitely find enough.
Yeah. I think I could actually.
It would be funny to see like how right he would be, because I have a feeling he'd probably bat 100
Yeah.
or 1,000.
I think you're right. I think he had a pretty good.
He knew what was up.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what else we have here. The Beautician and the Beast from 1997, starring Fran Drescher. We got Expired from earlier this year. Wonder Egg Priority. It's an anime. Scanner Cop. That's coming out in 4K. It's from 1994. Scanner Cop 2.
Ooh. Man. Scanner Cop. Oh, I gotta watch the shit out of this. Tagline: Imagine a cop who can read your mind and then blow it away.
Yeah, this is it's like a sequel to Scanners. It's like a pseudo sequel to Scanners.
fucking unbelievable. Oh my god.
We got Slaughterhouse Rock from 1988. That's pretty much it. What about Criterion's this week?
Oh man. Oh, we got two. I'm still kind of hung up on Scanner Cop because that sounds incredible. But we got two Criterions. One is Iomofe. This is My Desire. This is a Nigerian film from 2020, and it's got three other short films on there, interviews, all sorts of stuff. So I like that, getting some contemporary African cinema on a Criterion. That's good. And then Round Midnight from 1986,
Nice.
which is Bertrand Tavernier doing a love letter to bebop and jazz. Dexter Gordon. Nice. Oh, I don't know why I have not seen that yet. Gotta put that on the list.
All right, cool. I think that's going to do it for this week. Thank you so much for listening. You can send us your questions and topics to podcast@filmpulse.net. You can follow us on Twitter @FilmPulseNet, @FilmPulseKevin. And if you have a minute, consider reviewing us on iTunes. That would be very much appreciated. For Kevin Rakestraw, my name's Adam Patterson. We'll see you next week.